Hi, my name is Neil Wilson, and today I want to talk to you about crime and gun violence in urban cities in the United States. April 4th, 1968, Martin Luther King was shot and killed. February 21st, 1965, Malcolm X was shot and killed. September 7, 1996, Tupac Shakur was shot and died 6 days later in the hospital. March 9, 1997, the Notorious B.I.G. was shot and killed. November 22nd, 1963, John F. Kennedy was shot and killed in Dallas. March 16, 2007, my cousin Kevin Addison was shot and killed in his own home. These are all gun crimes that could have easily been prevented. The U.S. has one of the highest crime and gun violence rates in the whole world. In 2000, the U.S. had a total crime index of 4,249.4 reported incidents per 100,000 people. The U.S. had the 22nd highest crime index, the 10th highest for violent crimes amongst the states, 26th highest for murders. Gun violence in the United States is an intensely debated political issue. Violence is most common in poor urban areas and in conjunction with youth activity and gang violence. New York State has one of the highest crime rates in America. In 2003 through 2005, there were 1,662 murders committed in New York alone. Crime and violence in New York is a major issue in America. Last year alone, an 88-year-old man murdered his wife in their own home in New York City. A 9-year-old stabbed and killed her friend to death. There were 540 killings in 2005 in New York City alone. Stats say that men who have been killing favor firearms, women favor knives, and often sometimes guns. Men and boys are responsible for 93% of murders in New York City. More homicides occurred in Brooklyn than any other borough in New York City. There is more than gun crime and violence in New York City alone. There is also robbery. 3 major categories of first-degree robbery, second-degree robbery, and third-degree robbery. There is also gang violence when it comes to New York City. New York City, being one of the biggest urban cities in America, has one of the biggest gang violence in the world. There were 22 Bloods and Crips arrested in 2008 with narcotic violations. Easter Sunday has become Gang Initiation Day in New York City. There's also burglary in New York City. In 2006, a 71-year-old man and his 36-year-old girlfriend found dead in Brooklyn apartment from a burglary. 4 teens was charged with the burglary in the Phoenix houses, and 2 of them were charged as juvenile. The other 2 were charged as adults in third-degree burglary. Besides guns, robbery, and burglary, there's also drugs in New York City. Drugs are wiping people out daily. 82% of people convicted under the federal crack statute were black and only 9% were white. In May 2002, seizure of 1,946 kilograms of cocaine in Brooklyn. Dominicans are the top cocaine providers in New York City alone. They regularly smuggle in multi-hundred kilogram shipments to New York. South American in South Americans, heroin is the most common type of heroin. Is the most common type of drug in New York. It's usually brought through aircraft. There's also Rohypnol and steroids in New York City. These are the most common drugs that is used in New York City alone. Besides drugs, robbery, and murder and gun violence in New York City, there is also police brutality. August 28, 2005, a businessman brutally and viciously attacked by members of the Ocean Beach Police Department. Over 231 people in New York and New Jersey have been killed by law enforcement since September 11, 2001. On June 8, 1999, several police officers brutally beat and tortured a Haitian immigrant. One officer out of that police brutality beating, and 3 others was acquitted. 5 cops being charged with a 1997 beating of a man in Brooklyn. Fighting crime and gun violence, gun control is very important to urban cities and the United States. Raising gun prices will help stop gun violence in urban cities in America. Mayor Michael R. Bloomberg broke up an illegal gun sale operation in Brooklyn. They call this National Action Week. Al Sharpton gathered supporters for a day of outrage. Also, background check at gun shows would also help. Dealers usually selling guns at gun shows usually don't do a complete background check. Unlicensed private dealers are not to conduct checks, but they are not to sell to people, knowing their backgrounds are questionable. 16 out of 17 federally licensed dealers willingly accepted straw purchases, in which sales are made to appliances. Things that we could do to help stop gun violence in America and in urban cities is we need to protect our families by doing all that we can to keep our community and guns off the streets. First thing we need to do is don't let your family be a victim. Second thing we need to do is put the enemy away. Third thing we could do is be smart, not brave. Get involved in your community. It starts with the youth. Activity centers, athletic events, and keeping our children out of the streets and in school. These are all things that we could do to help stop crime and gun violence in America.